When I was a teenager, there was a period of time I was quite cynical. I tended to envy people with more economic resources. I would attribute their success to their economic capital. As I grow older, I've read a lot of books about economics, history, and business, and I traveled a lot, talked to a lot of people, and I gradually understand that having enough resources can be a curse if you don't build your core skills. Many economists call this resource curse or the paradox of plenty. You know, some countries in South America and Africa with a lot of oils and minerals actually end up in a very poor position. They became the poorest countries in the world. Why? Because the money came so easy, the countries usually over-relied on one sector without considering developing other parts of the economy. So their economy became really unhealthy and unbalanced. When the international oil prices fluctuate and their countries actually collapsed or even became very unstable because they don't have core skills. Another classic example is actually from a business perspective. We tend to assume that startups with more financial resources, with more capital, are more likely to succeed, but it's not true. Recently, I read a book called How Will You Measure Your Life? It's written by a Harvard business professor. He found that 93% of all companies that ultimately become successful had to abandon their original strategy because the original plan proved not to be viable. The more financial resources a big company has, the more likely it's going to go bankrupt because they burn through money too fast and they didn't have money left to change direction. But for a smaller company, they use money so efficiently and they have chances to change their direction. In Chinese, there's an old saying that the smaller your ship is, the easier to change direction. And it works same way in our life and in a lot of businesses. To young people who are watching this video, when you don't have enough resources, you should be happy about it. Why? Because when you don't have enough resources, you are more likely to think thoroughly and think about all perspectives and use your resources, current resources, more efficiently. And you have actually more chances to develop your core skills and build a foundation for you to survive in this world and to become more competitive. So let me share a story with you. In my college, there was a classmate who wanted to build his own business, while most our peers just want a stable life. And the reason why that student wanted to build his own business was because his father died when he was a high schooler. So he had to shoulder the entire financial responsibility to support his family. He worked really hard in his college years. When he was a freshman and sophomore, he started to do research around the city in order to find good projects. He traded some cheap electronic devices and worked at coffee shops and even developed some apps to sell on campus. And after so many years of exploration, he developed some kind of business acumen. And in his junior year, he found a great opportunity. He basically sold some products to foreign buyers, outsourced the production to local factories. He made some money and accumulated some wealth, and gradually he invested in his own factory. And now he is a successful small and medium enterprise owner in Hangzhou. After this learning journey, I actually don't envy people with more resources anymore, because if you don't have the core skills, the more resources, financial resources you have, the more dangers you are going to face, and the probability of going bankrupt or having a complete failure is actually higher. But if you have core skills and solid foundations in your industry or sector, it doesn't matter you have resources or not, you are going to make progress step by step. And those solid steps will bring you a brighter future and more solid success.